Hello everybody, welcome to the third act of Let's Play Dynamite Headdy. Last time we took out our first Keymaster, who dropped a mystery key that resembled the dark demon symbol we've seen around, you can see around the game. And that's not very subtle, Trouble Brewin. So anyway, then out of nowhere, a mysterious woman appeared and nabbed the key from under our... That doesn't look right.
You've got a secret bonus point.
Figures. So a mysterious woman appeared and nabbed the key from under our noses. We don't know who she is, or what she's doing with those keys. The manual only tells us that her name is Heather, and pretty much what I just said, but no doubt we're gonna find out sooner or later. So down under. First chapter of the third act. And in fact, it's the only platforming section of the entire act, the rest of the level is just boss fights. The first segment is unique, much like all the other levels in Dynamite Headdy, which is good. And it's a good level. The seesaw platform is a nice touch, although it can make it somewhat difficult to see where you are and attack enemies, especially if they hover around you like that. It's a pretty short chapter though, unfortunately. In fact, we're already at the end. So we're taken backstage by Trouble Brewin, who has his head on yet another weird apparatus. This one's called Rocket Grappler. So his attacks include spinning you around, throwing those weird flying puppets your way, and doing this. And you want to press whatever direction the arrow is pointing, or you'll hit the obstacles, like I just did. And he's keeping you at quite a long distance, so it's difficult to hit him with your normal head. Thankfully Headcase will give you the tools for this. Super Head works favorably well. Protector Head might be a good weapon, might hit him every now and then, but Warhead is of course the best choice because then you don't have to do anything yourself. And he can be taken out quite quickly, but once again, there's a reason I'm not doing that. It has to do with those puppets right there. And you want to make them appear as fast as possible. If you destroy one, it'll spawn another, so naturally Vacuum Head is your friend, is your best friend if you want to do that. And speaking of Vacuum Head, looks like there's one right there. So I think it should be coming up right about now. Yep, that's the one. Yeah, the weird looking cat is a secret bonus point. It can be quite difficult to see with all this action going on. It can be rather hectic. And that's a rather unnecessarily violent ending, don't you think? Sleepyhead and Liberty Head. Well, we might as well get the minigame over with as fast as we can. So not much has changed since last time, except we now have to make 10 shots. In fact, every time we come back, there's an increment of 5, but since it only adds to the tedium of the game, and since we've already seen what the minigame entails, we might as well let Headdy handle this one and go a little break ourselves. We'll come back when Headdy has all 10 shots in the bag. So here's something completely different. Right, let's discuss Trouble Brewin for a bit. Even if it means that he gets his time in the spotlight that he so desperately craves and that we don't want to give him. But I feel there are a few things that we need to get out of the way. So let's do this. First things first, even though his name implies so, he clearly is not a bear. He doesn't look like a bear, he doesn't have the physical features of one, therefore it's safe to assume that he doesn't belong in the Ursidae family. He might be a cat, although he doesn't have a tail, But it's been proven as early as 1939 that not all fictitious cats have tails anyway. Besides, I mean, come on, look at him. That is a cat if I ever saw one. Also, he's not trouble for the most part. Only one fight is actually difficult, but we'll cover that when we get there. So, all in all, he's an epitome of a misnomer. But names and appearances aside, he's also Heady's rival, of course, who will stop at nothing to be the star of the show. The fact that he appears every so often to hinder Heady's progress is one thing, but there's a pretty clear manifestation of their autonomous relationship if you consider the difference between their head-body combination. Whereas Heady will switch his head to other heads, Trouble Brewin installs his one head on various mechanical bodies. I know it's not exactly a groundbreaking juxtaposition, but I still like it. It's a nice little detail, and it fits the mood of the game pretty well. But guess that's all. We might as well go back to the basketball game. But why is he called Trouble Brewin? I mean, besides the obvious pun, why wouldn't they just call him Trouble Cat? Or something cat-related? I guess we're just gonna have to get to the bottom of this. But where to start looking? Well, I guess the most rational thing to do would be to take a look at the original Japanese version, because they did change some things, including some sprites, when they made the international release, so... yeah, let's do that actually. Let's look at the original. I'm sure we can find something that resembles a bit. How did this happen? I mean, that looks even less like a bear. So in other words, they changed the sprite to look more like a bear in the international version? Well, that makes a whole lot of sense. Maybe something was lost in translation. Well, in the Japanese version, Trouble Brewin is actually called Maruyama, which literally means round mountain. You can hear his name uttered occasionally when he makes an appearance. However, Maruyama only refers to his head as opposed to him as a whole. This makes sense in that his head is often fastened into whatever contraption he uses in a fight, but it's still pretty weird if you ask me. His head-body combination is called Kuma Body, where Kuma means bear. If you listen to the Trouble Brewin theme in the options menu, you can also hear the word Kuma in the background. So that rules out translation as well. So I don't... damn it, I don't know where I'm going with this. Whether bears are depicted as purple and cat-like in Japan is anybody's guess, and I'm reading too deeply into this already, so call him whatever you want. I can't bear this any longer. Sorry. And welcome back. We're almost done with the minigame. Just get that one there and 10 shots it is. Another number to remember. Trigger to shut down, and I was a bit too trigger happy there, but you saw that, right? This was a number 4. So do what you did last time, write that down. That's 2 number 4s. You don't want to forget those numbers, trust me. And we're taken straight to the second boss fight of the level. Looks like we're up against 2 guys this time. The Puppeteer and Gentleman Jim. I probably don't need to point out which is which. It's a pretty cool mini-boss because depending on who you kill first, the second phase of the fight is different. So this boss has 3 forms, basically. The Puppeteer has only 1 attack. He can grab your head and spin you around a bit. This one's probably the easier fight of the 2. But of course, that was just Heady dreaming it all up. That actually never happened. Because what you want to do is you want to take the Puppeteer out first. So the best strategy for the fight is to keep hitting both of them. They do have a fixed amount of health, so once you kill the other, the remaining half doesn't regenerate any health. So you're best off landing a hit whenever you can on either one of them, and to just make sure you don't kill Gentleman Jim first.
You've got a secret bonus point.
And yeah, you never saw that one coming, right? Well, Gentleman Jim is nothing to write home about. Just about as easy as the Puppeteer. And that does it. We might as well head on to the third fight, which is the Keymaster for the stage. Which is the wooden dresser. And he has a couple of costumes he switches up. And you need to strip him of his costume one article at a time, after which his heart will become his weak point. And he has a number of costumes, and of course we're gonna see all of those. He moves pretty fast in the ballerina costume, so it can be pretty hard to hit him. You can take Ticker Head. Huh, or I guess you can't. I wonder why I didn't register that one. Okay, I think we've seen enough of his wardrobe now. This boss fight is really Warhead's time to shine. I mean, it's an all-around awesome weapon, but it's especially good in this one. You might want to take him down to as little health as possible. Just make sure you don't kill him before you've seen all his entire repertoire. And yeah, Tickerhead works quite well against this guy. And I think what we're waiting for is coming up right now. It's a Beano costume, and you want to take it out before it blows up. Like that, because then you'll miss the secret bonus point. That's not good, but thankfully what I didn't know is that he has a spare one. So let's take him out quick this time. And I was so completely taken by surprise by the fact that Beano appeared again that I forgot to pick up Superhead to end this fight with. But I'm not gonna wait for another one to appear, so let's just see if I can get a continue without one. I don't have very high hopes of that. Yeah, that didn't go so well. The problem is that you have to get so many of those blocks. In the Japanese version, I think you can pretty much stand on either side, not move an inch, and still get a continue nearly every time. But the American version is not that lenient, and without the Superhead it's just a really difficult task. So I'll repeat once again, whenever you can, finish the boss off with a Superhead, because there are times you don't have the option to do so. But thankfully we got the secret bonus point, we got all secret bonus points, and we've cleared the level, so that's the most important part. Those keys are just huge, they must weigh a ton. Good thing Heather's doing the manual labor here, those things would probably slow Headdy down a lot. And he has a world to save after all. And that does it for Act number 3. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you folks in Act 4.